This is a message to the state of California that Wolfie Smith has broken the confidentiality agreement of being a juror. No! And they should be removed from the jury stand and arrested. No! While I film it.
Take him down.
Just tell him the whole
They revealed too much. I know, California. I know the details.
No.
He knows it all.
He's lying. He's a liar.
Wolfie Smith has broken the agreement not to reveal anything about the jury information. I know, California.
California, don't listen to him.
Indict them under treason and everything.
Are you going to say arsony?
I was, but, that too.
You're a savage beast.
Oh my god.
Listen, I can't help it.
If you don't hear from me in 7 days, audience, they've come for me.
Deserved.
I'm like Edward Snowden. I know the truth. I'm in trouble.
Uh-oh, somebody come get her. He's dancing like a stripper.
Fucking up my dinner. And with that, welcome to episode 69 of You're Ridiculous.
Nice.
Nice. I am your host, one of your hosts, Luke. With me as always is Wolf.
That's me.
And joining us once again is Rain, our lovely guest.
Back from the dead.
Guest.
Yeah.
For one night only.
Another little sneak peek.
Yep.
That's right. She's finally decided to stop ghosting me and all my messages.
I know, it's awful.
And decided to give us an hour of her time.
My valuable
Finally,
time.
more than just a few
time.
message reacts on Facebook Messenger.
That's
and
all
a few
you get.
Snapchat reacts.
That's all you deserve.
Who reacts on Snapchat? Nobody.
When I do it. It's
You're
there.
awful. You're both awful. It should not be a thing.
Listen, I'm not the one who implemented it.
It's like the fleets. They were implemented, but they should never be a thing. Luckily, fleets are gone, and maybe Snapchat Reacts will be next.
Oh, God.
Every platform is just trying to mimic every other platform.
Originality is dead.
Yeah. Well, we're not talking... Maybe that'll be its own topic someday.
Oh.
But how we steal from every other content creator.
Oh, give me a great chance to talk about Spider-Verse.
Ooh.
Well, not this week.
True.
This week, we're going to be talking... One of us is going to be talking about the Resident Evil remake.
Ooh. What do you mean, Rainie, did you not watch it? Did you not do your homework?
I did all of my
homework. I assumed that Rain was the only one that did their homework. Because I know nothing.
Oh, you animal.
You know what's funny is literally I called Lucas at 5 o'clock, so 4 hours ago, to talk about this, and he said, I know nothing. You've had 4 hours to figure out at least something.
Get a little bit.
I've had like 3 weeks for this.
You have. I feel like you're the one who even suggested this.
I sure did. I saw it on Twitter, and I'm like, I don't know anything about this, but I know you both do.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
We're going to be talking about that. Yeah, and then we're going to be doing a 3-person Ridiculous Possibilities.
Extra special.
Where a question is posed and we provide answers to make each other laugh.
Yeah.
And then lastly, a random question of the week, actually read by Rain for once.
Wow.
Super special.
Gotta refresh the voice.
Yeah, get a new taste of it.
Yeah.
And don't forget to hit the like, comment, and subscribe buttons.
That's right. All of them. Retweet, like, comment, email us.
Ooh, yeah. Thumbs up.
Don't do that.
Don't
because
email
we won't
us.
check it. But
Yeah. We probably like a dozen emails just sitting there.
Add us in the Discord if you're not there. Join it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's get right into this. Let's get into this.
All right. Resident Evil 4 remake.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Lay it on me. Wolf, what is it?
Yeah, it's the
Besides just a remake. Don't give me that bullshit. Give us the details.
The Resident Evil 4, it's post Raccoon City, or back with Leon S. Kennedy. And he is in some place in Spain, maybe Brazil. to investigate this new plague that is like inflicted upon the community and to rescue the president's daughter, the president of the U.S.'s daughter.
Yep, big deal, very important.
Yeah.
Top priority.
Oh, and that's the gist of it. You do puzzles, you do lots of shooting, lots of very interesting, freaky looking characters, and it's a remake. So I got to hear every time something was different from Jack. That's whose playthrough I watched.
Yep.
Oh, and there's tons of quote unquote controversy on the internet on some of the things that didn't make it into the remake.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. I'm sure we'll get into specifics, but like in general, how much was different from the original?
Oh, you can't sexually harass Ashley anymore.
What's the point of playing? Why am I even here?
Oh my god.
I know. The most important part of the gameplay gone. You can't look up her skirt. You
What the fuck?
No, I don't think she's not even wearing a skirt anymore. She's wearing like a skirt, and sometimes it's shorts.
Yep. Cover that skin.
Damn, all these remakes just ruining all the good stuff.
I know.
No longer a whore.
How old is the original one?
Very.
Yeah. Do you know? I'll look it up.
It's pretty old. Older than me, probably.
2005.
Oh, wow.
Holy
it's not older
shit.
than me. But that's still very old.
It's not older than you, my god.
Listen, it feels like ages.
Yeah, well, yeah, Res 4 was 2005.
Wow.
That no sexually harassing the other character, that reminds me. One of the like original Pokemon games had this old man looking in one of the gyms. And he's like, I like this gym because there's a ton of beautiful women inside.
What a freak.
And then in the remake, the updated version, he's like, I like this gym because there's a bunch of powerful trainers inside. Look what they took away from us. Where's the pervy old man?
Funny. Well, no, growing up watching anime at that time, pervy old man, it was in every anime.
Everyone. A classic.
Truly.
A character everybody could relate to.
Yeah. So, Rainie, thoughts? I feel like you're the most well versed in this. I haven't played any of the old original, Resident Evils. I was very lost on what exactly the Resident Evil story was when it's popping in on the Village DLC.
Yeah.
Because I was like pretty sure this was a game about zombies, and yet.
Yeah. I think this is where it starts to take a turn to more, not really zombie apocalypse, but starts turning into more kind of like what we saw in Last of Us, where it's more plague-like. Yeah, more bacterial, if anything.
Yeah. More straight up monsters.
Yeah, literally. Like creations, just horror creations coming from the minds of probably horrors themselves. Because that's the only way that I'd be able to think of some of these things that they come up with. But I love the game. I thought it was beautiful. I thought it looked great. It literally looks like I looked back at side-by-side footage of some of like the old games and the remake, and you don't realize how far back we were in 2005 than we are now. Like just that like 15-year difference. It's insane what they've come up with.
Look at this.
Let's see what you got for us.
Just a comparison of the two.
Yeah,
all the fog to hide how bad it looks.
Yeah. It's insane.
That is incredible. We're looking at some side-by-side comparison photos, and they are alarming.
We have come so far.
Yeah, Leon's a fucking hunk now.
It's crazy how your memory of these things are like better than what they actually looked like.
Mm-hmm. And you look back and you're like, oh, there's Laura Croft's fucking pointy ass triangle tits, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, listen. Madagascar still stands up on the PS2. Okay?
I don't believe you.
That holds up, man. That holds up to this day.
I remember when they ported the SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom, but they basically used all the old assets, so it still looked off.
That was so funny, though.
Fair enough.
That one was great. Yeah, but it definitely looks a lot better than it used to. He's looks much gloomier.
Yeah. Very much more atmospheric. So much better.
Mm.
Yeah. Exciting stuff. I love looking at the outfits that you get of Leon afterwards that you can play him as. There's a romantic or a romance Leon.
Oh, yeah.
Leon, he's got he literally looks like he belongs on the cover of like a paperback that you find in like a gas station of the love stories.
Suave Leon.
Look
Oh,
amazing. Yep. We could also have like a goth Leon. Bunch of different types.
Oh, yeah. Goth Ashley looks really cool.
Yeah.
Or
Why
really
can you
amusing.
customize your character in this?
Oh man, I forgot. I wanted to open with it. This is a very video gamey video game.
You think so?
Yeah. It's like nowadays. It's like nowadays video games aren't that video gamey anymore. They're like it's evolved as a medium. Where, like they're telling stories in the way like movies and TV tell stories.
I was gonna
Especially
say, you
like
think
God
they're
of
more
War.
like movies.
Yeah, God of War.
The
Last of Us,
cutscenes
all
are
those
like
things.
intense. Yeah, like you're watching.
Yeah.
Whereas even the remake, it kept all like the cheesiness of like how video games were back then, with all the one-liners and all the silly stuff and all the wild action.
Awful one-liners, just like ones that you're like, who wrote this, who approved it, and who recorded it. And
What is it?
like-
Bingo
That's
night?
though.
Oh, that was awful. Like, I know it's great, and I love people love the line, but like when you really, it's supposed to be an intense moment. You know, you're finding who's in the village. There's something going on here. It's evil. Everyone disappears, and he's just like, what is it, bingo night? And you're like, all right.
During the last fight, none of the one-liners stuck, but I know that during the last fight, it's just one-liner after one-liner, because now both the characters are doing it.
Let me ask you this: do you think? So a lot of us grew up playing like those like video games with the like cheesy bits and one-liners and like all the bad stuff that you expect from like 2005.
The fact that you can parry everything.
Yeah. Shout out to Assassin's Creed, the king of parrying everything.
Yep.
Do you think if a studio like a good studio, not some, or maybe an indie game as well, indie studio could also do it, made a video game today that was advertised as like the classic video game, do you think it would succeed?
I think it would.
Maybe.
Like with
It
the
depends,
one-liners, with the cheese.
There's actually like, I got two perfect examples. One flopped, one
Okay.
didn't. I forget both of their names. But the first one, I'll describe it to
Oh,
you. You'll
lovely.
probably remember. It was the one that was the main character was a black woman. It was like, she landed on a special planet and like everyone made fun of the trailer because it was like super cheesy because you're like, now I'm on this like alien planet and my glove is talking to me and I don't know how I got into it. And everyone shat on it and it didn't do very well.
Oh,
But then
no.
another game came out that is like exactly cheesy in the same way, but it was made by a bunch of like powerhouses like what's his name?
I don't know.
The Japanese guy that's like really renowned.
Oh, the one that made Elden Ring?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he made and that one was also hella cheesy. It was like a very musical looking game, very bright colors, and everyone loved it. Even though they're both hella cheesy video games, and they criticized the first game for being video gamey, and they loved the second game for being video gamey.
Is it Hidetaka Miyazaki?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I figured because there's only so many like
Japanese
many,
video game
yeah.
guys.
well, super renowned. There's
Yeah.
several.
Yeah.
But only so many that people know by name.
Yeah.
Banned her for a bit while I look up the name of the games.
Yeah, well, I was thinking like I really like the feeling of those like old school video games. Not to say that like the new age cinematic like experience video games aren't great. But there definitely is like a stark contrast.
Yeah. I feel like the games that we get nowadays that are very cinematic and you're just very involved in a way that like there are sometimes I just want to sit down and play a stupid game mindlessly, and a lot of these games you have to be like emotionally involved and you have to mentally be
Yeah.
following the storyline, and there's a lot that goes into it to be able to like play these games, especially the right way, and interact with the games the right way. Like sometimes I just don't have the energy to really get into these games and have that serious impact. I'm like, because I'm tired. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? I just want to do something stupid. I feel like nostalgic wise, like you can get that from really old games. Like storyline sometimes doesn't matter. You know, if you want to watch the cutscenes, if you don't, you can skip it and you're still going to get the same gameplay and experience. Sometimes I just don't want to think, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure. There's plenty of games like Star Wars The Force Unleashed was actually like that, where it had reasonably good cutscenes for like what it was back in the day. Like it was good for back then. But you could also just skip them entirely and it didn't really matter because you're just going to run at enemies and slice them up.
Right. You know?
And that was awesome. Right? Like it didn't matter. I didn't care what it was. I just knew I was an angsty guy and I wanted to kill. And that was great.
Let it out.
Oh man, couldn't fight it.
Nowadays, okay, well that's all right.
Everyone who knows, whoever needs to know.
I was gonna just say, audience, if you know, let us know.
Because we don't know.
You must know, because we clearly don't.
Oh man,
it'll come to Wolf like a week from now.
It will.
And then
I'll dedicate the thumbnail to
it. I love the release of your thumbnails. It's always that's my favorite part of the upload.
Oh man,
seeing
big surprise.
them for the first time. Yeah, it's always too good. Sometimes I like recommend what it should be, but most of the time I just like let you do it. Yeah, it's good.
Watch the magic happen.
Yeah, specifically the last one. It's so funny. I did not expect it. But
dramatic sunset.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So yeah, So you think is the remake better than the first one?
I'm gonna say it probably is.
Yeah, I think it depends on what you're looking for out of the game. Like what kind of gameplay you want.
Okay. Yeah, I don't mean better from like an improvement of quality as in like running it and like looks and everything. I just mean like is the experience that you get from this game better than the experience that you get from the original?
You know, I'm gonna say no, because I heard some of the things that were taken out from Jack. And I think apparently what the main things that got taken out were like some really cool transformation scenes.
Yeah.
Like when you go, there's like 2 bosses, I think, that had like a cool transformation that got completely cut out. Like they like drop behind something and then they pop back out and there's something else. In the new game. And in that old game, you actually got to see the transformation.
Yeah, that's the general and the final boss, right?
Yeah.
Yep, those two, especially the final boss. Because what happens, Lucas, and for listeners who don't know what the final boss looks like or what it is, there's a part where it looks like a regular old-ass guy, and he slowly becomes this, of course, ginormous tentacly monster. But the biggest thing for him is his, like, the eye that comes out of his mouth. Like, his whole mouth is just gaping open to one big eye. And in the old game, you could watch, like, the eye, like, come out. You watch his jaw, like, break open. You're watching all this stuff. Yeah. And in the remake, they just kind of, like, he yells, and then suddenly, like, you're in the game, you know, and he's transformed. Like, it would have been cool to watch with, like, the updated graphics, all the gory details of this thing being made.
Yeah, one of my least favorite things that some video games tend to do when they have transformations like that and stuff is instead of doing the transition, they just like explode with like dust and blood, and then there's something completely different, you know? Like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen.
Oh, and you go, Until Dawn does that.
Yeah, they do. That's probably where I started seeing it. It's so dumb. It just looks like Until Dawn makes it kind of work because a lot of their characters are silly and like silly teenagers anyway.
And they acknowledge it.
Right, and they totally acknowledge it, and it's obvious that, you know, they're kind of foolish and they have no idea what they're doing, so it works. But there's other ones that like try to do it on a serious note, and it just does not work at all, ever.
Imploded.
It is the worst transition. I would rather see like a bad transition than that.
Yeah. Splash of blood, like, poof of blood. Oh, there I am.
Yeah. And it's like 3 times as big of a monster.
Yeah, I have to think it was like cut for like time reasons because one boss did actually get a transformation, like an animated transformation. The like centipede looking dude. Like his like body segments, and he's like all long and all amazing monster design, by the way. And also the way he gets to transform, and then he gets a second transformation for like the second half of this boss fight. Just like I think you like ripped him in half, and then more comes out of him.
Ew!
Incredible.
Stuff out of
I'm
nightmares.
looking at like some of the monster designs for Res 4, and they look pretty gnarly.
Oh, indeed. To think we go from that to Lady Dimitrescu.
Dude,
listen,
yeah.
they gave us what we wanted, okay?
Fair enough.
We can't be complaining about the gift we've been given. They're gonna take it away from us.
I do like that they gave Ashley a lot more depth. You know, she's just not like this helpless, screaming little twig in the corner, you know?
Yeah.
Yep, she actually, like, talks to Leon and interacts. And then the her getting kidnapped, though, like, gets picked up and you have to, like, save her. That probably gets annoying after a while, you know?
I lost my mind when she got picked up to get carried and Jack just blasted her in the face. And the game instantly ended.
Look at the comparison, by the way.
Oh my god.
She looks like she's 12 in the first one.
She's all
which
ears.
makes it so awkward with the way they flirt with Leon.
God.
God.
That's the one. That's the 12-year-old whose panties they wanted to see so damn bad.
So you can accidentally kill Ashley?
Yeah.
Incredible.
Take her out.
See, that but the game ends, right?
Yeah, it's like you have to respawn.
That makes sense. I guess it is pretty old. They wouldn't have like Until Dawn style of where you can kill characters in game updates.
Imagine the alternate ending where you go through everything else except you failed to save Ashley.
Dude, Ada though. Ada's glow up.
What?
Damn.
She's hot.
Damn.
Walking around in her knit dress.
Literally. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Hiked up skirt.
Let's get the comparison.
All legs and heels, that one.
Have you seen?
Oh god.
Yeah. What a difference.
What is this?
She's like, they're like, these are like 4 different people.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, I found the correct one. We're good.
There you go. The correct
one. I found
one.
the correct one.
Yeah.
Oh god.
What advancements in technology in which the Asian character actually looks Asian now.
Bravo.
And not just like it's Asian and not just not Caucasian. Right? It's like
ambiguous.
Clearly yeah, exactly. It's super ambiguous, but now they actually look there as they're supposed to.
Oh man.
Did they say why we got this remake? Like, what was the point?
I think they're just doing it because there's been a couple remakes.
Okay.
Because they remade, I think, like maybe the first Resident Evil. Because I remember watching Jack play it. And I assume they remade the second and third. He made a comment that they probably won't remake Resident Evil 5 because it's racist. It didn't age well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Do you know why it's racist? Because you didn't get into it.
I don't. I was going to look it up afterwards, but I completely forgot.
Yeah. I'm dying to know. It's so funny. Like, we might skip this one, guys. It doesn't bad optics.
I'm trying to find why it's racist.
Yeah, Rainie, I feel like you had something to complain about. About this remake.
About? I think it was the transition cutscenes that kind of upset me. Because I was actually watching like recaps of the original, and I was actually excited because I was like, that's gonna look fucking badass. That's gonna look so grotesque and amazing. And then you get to the game, and then they're just like, boop boop, great, great. I'm like, thanks for that. Thanks for the satisfaction. You go through all of this, and you can't even fucking watch him. You know?
Right. Give me the gory details.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we play Resident Evil. Fucking give it to us.
It's funny seeing them, like, reuse tropes from earlier Resident Evils.
Oh, yeah.
Especially since it's a remake, and then you compare the remake to, like, The Village. Like,
yeah.
Why was the Village a section entirely almost exactly the same?
That's what it was. Oh my god, I remember now because I did message the group chat and I was like, I have thoughts. Yeah, it was the castle, the whole castle that you're going through is basically what I had imagined Lady Dimitrescu's castle was going to be. Because I was actually disappointed in the castle of Village because I didn't think it was big enough, extravagant enough.
Right.
For somebody like Lady Dimitrescu, you would think she was going to go fucking all out with the castle, you know, and you're going to be able to
and it's like from the outside,
thing.
It looks huge.
Exactly, and then you're inside, and it feels like it's just a couple rooms, a dining room, here's a hallway, you know, and then you get to the castle here in Res 4, and you're like, oh shit, it's this huge, you feel like you're in it for so long, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was going to be like. So I kind of felt robbed. I'm like, hey, can we just like have that castle and put it in Village really quickly? And then, of course, the Village in Res 4, like you said, exact replica of Res 8. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like the atmosphere is just like the same. And I'm like, I feel like I'm just watching the same game over again.
I bet if you played the Village cutscene from the Village DLC at the same time as as the Resident Evil 4 Village cutscene, they would line up exactly the same. Every plot beat, every time something burst into the scene, every time a new monster showed up, they'd be the same. Yep. And I swear to God, when like the big guy with the axe shows up, I'm pretty sure at the same time in the DLC, a big guy with a big weapon shows up.
They were like, you know what? Why mess with perfection? If we have something that works, why change it, you know?
They loved it. They're gonna love it again. Oh, man. Look, have you been successful in your hunt?
All right, I found a few things.
Oh, okay.
According to the Atlantic, one of the first things you see in Res 5, the Atlantic, the reporting group.
Yeah.
Is a gang of African men being beaten by something in a sack, like brutally beaten.
You know, well, maybe we need it for the storyline.
Yeah, maybe there's context.
Yeah, they said animal or human, it's never revealed. These are not infected Majini, which are part of the tribe of the Africans at the location.
Hey, you never know
they're
who's
just
infected
ordinary,
and who's not infected.
Right, they're just ordinary Africans.
They're just dudes.
They also said another section is when there's a cutscene of a white blonde woman being dragged off screaming, being dragged by black men.
Oh my.
When you attempt to rescue her, she's being turned and must be killed. If this has any relevance to the story, it's not apparent. The first 3 chapters plays so blatantly into the cliche of the dangerous dark continent.
Oh no.
And then sort of the summary of the rest of the article is basically that it's never clearly said that the tribe beyond the infected are not monsters.
Yeah.
And that the whole tribe itself could just be described as a secondary group of monsters besides the infected.
Yeah, that didn't age well at all.
There's this overarching, like,
kind of implies
idea that a very implied idea that Africa and the residents are like savage animals.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Plague didn't do much to change them. They're just like that.
Right. Something else I found. This was by The Gamer, a website that Wolfie and I constantly ridicule.
Yeah.
And they're one of their like headline articles is here we go. Resident Evil 4 no longer sexualizing its women is a good thing.
Really?
As if anybody is debating this. Thank you, The Gamer.
Thanks for the most obvious take ever.
Oh my god.
No, it's all about sexualizing the men.
Unbelievable.
Leon in a thong.
That's why they updated Leon's haircut to make it even more edgy. Yeah, shout out to The Gamer for being a complete nincompoop once again.
The most lukewarm takes.
Terrible. Anyway, so that's the summary of why they probably won't do Res 5 unless they change it drastically. And at that point, is it even a remake?
Yeah. Pass over that one.
Yeah. So I have one more question before we get into our next topic. In general, are you guys pro remakes or anti-remake?
It depends on how connected I am to the original game.
Well, I assume that it's a game that you actually like.
Yeah.
Obviously nobody's going to care if it's a game that you're not connected.
I mean,
assume it's a game that you, maybe not your all-time favorite, but like a game that you definitely liked playing and enjoyed.
I think if you're going to remake a game, I'm cool with that, but you need to go above and beyond to really bring it home on the second one. Because any little slip up, you could literally fuck up just a little bit and everyone's gonna you're gonna get lit up for it, so I think it just needs to be it needs to be spot on.
Right.
Yeah. I'm in general kind of against remakes, just philosophically, please stop remaking things. We're in the era of remakes. Everyone's just remaking everything that's from their childhood instead of just making new things. They're not even doing a new story set in that same universe. Well, some people are, but for the most part, they're not. So at least this remake, I think it's kind of justified. Game is 15 years old, and a lot of times if you wanted to play it, you almost couldn't because you have to go hunt down an old console and then find an old copy of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sort of, I think, in between you two, leaning more towards Wolf. I think the only time I really like remakes are when, like Wolf said, the console or the system is out of date and no longer really accessible.
Yeah.
Whether it be old PS2 game or even original PlayStation or Xbox or whatever. Or digital-only games at the time. Xbox had quite a few of those that were pretty good.
Yeah.
But in general, I'm anti-remake, barring that one stipulation, just because most of them are money grabs, and I don't like that, especially since they don't take a lot of the effort that Rain and the rest of us clearly want out of the remake.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I feel. I don't think they're great, but I think they're generally, they also just aren't putting anything new into the gaming universe, and I feel like that's a big missed opportunity.
Yeah, that's fair, and especially, at least in this one, they did make some changes. They I know, the old version used to play kind of tank style, when you shot, you couldn't move. And that kind of changed how combat worked. So the enemies had to be slower, etc., etc. But in this one, you can move while you do combat. So there's more enemies, and the enemy types are more diverse. And the set pieces you run around are a bit more, complicated.
Yeah. And that actually does change quite a bit.
Yeah.
A lot. That the combat is probably extremely different, I bet. So.
Yeah.
Which overall is probably a good thing.
Sure.
I obviously never played the first one, but I bet just in general, a more dynamic combat, it can't be bad.
So. Yeah. Oh, I remember another thing from Resident Evil 1. One thing they ported over in the remake was the restricted camera. Because back then, they had the restricted camera because those were the limitations of their technology. But then they redid it better and less janky, but it still kept that aesthetic.
Mm.
Yeah. Nice. God, I hate restricted cameras. Actually, the most frustrating thing ever.
Yep.
Anyways, overall thoughts? How would you rate it, Rain?
I would rate it probably an 8 out of 10.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Pretty solid.
Pretty up there. I wouldn't say it's a 10 out of 10 just because my personal thing is just talking during gameplay, characters talk. What they have to say. That just kind of that's my own pet peeve. So for me personally, that's just not my thing. But I still think the game looks great. I think the game mechanics work very well. And like Wolf said, the diversity, they took it up a notch. And I appreciated that. Yeah.
Nice. Wolf, what about you?
I give it a solid 7 out of 10. I think if I hadn't known that there were transformation scenes that were cut out, I'd give it a 8 out of 10. But knowing that those are gone makes me sad.
Yeah.
I love to see a grotesque monster come to being.
Yeah.
And I know they're capable of it because they did it in the previous games.
Mm-hmm.
Right. They toned it down. That's funny. For the sake of justice, I won't rate anything.
Didn't watch any of it.
So, but overall, positive on the rating.
Yeah.
So that's good. If you like Resident Evil, any of the franchise, definitely check this one out. And moving on to Ridiculous Possibilities.
Whoa!
If you're not familiar with this game, it is essentially you laugh, you lose. We have come up with one question and have provided are going to provide answers with the goal of making one of us laugh first. If you laugh, you're out, and it'll be down, hopefully down to one person left standing.
Yeah.
If not, that's okay too. If you get out early and you still have some, we'll read off those answers at the end.
We're free to share and we're free to laugh at it.
That's right. All right, everybody compose themselves. I'm known for breaking right away.
Instant. Number 2.
I was. Listen, you broke on a raw river salmon.
Listen. It was
All
exactly in my line of humor.
That's true. This is Ridiculous Possibilities, number 3, with the question being, worst place to hide a body.
Mm-hmm.
Rain, you'll go first, then I'll go, and then Wolf will go.
Sounds
Okay.
good. All right. McDonald's ball pit.
The $5 movie bin at Walmart.
In plain sight.
Hanging on a laundromat conveyor belt.
On the side of the road with a free sign.
An old abandoned pizzeria.
In the high school dance punch bowl.
Under the wedding dress of someone walking down the aisle. I got Wolfie!
Oh,
Yeah,
it's been
down to
building for like 3 rounds. Ready to laugh from the
Already.
beginning.
all right. Rain and I are going to keep going. Rain, it is your turn.
Okay. In the spinning teacup of a carnival ride.
At the police station, dressed up as a cop. You're laughing.
No, I'm not.
All
No,
right.
we're good.
Okay.
Swallowed it down.
In a dresser marked for free on the side of the road.
Oh,
those
same
are
vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Hung up on the cross at church, pretending to be Jesus.
Oh my god.
Got him. That's 2 down. Audience, I'm a winner.
Oh, you won for once.
Yeah.
I did.
Oh man.
Rain, what was your second one?
My second was hanging on a laundromat conveyor belt.
That one almost broke me.
That was a really good one.
That was really good. I almost broke it. Wolf, why don't you share the rest of yours?
Alright, I have 3 more. A place influence. Oh no. A place influencers think is haunted.
Ooh, okay, walk out. Sorry.
At the end of an ARG you forgot you set up. And in a library disguised as a book.
As a full book.
I definitely would have broke on those. Those are really good.
Oh man.
I really thought the
Solid
McDonald's
question.
ball pit would break at least one of you.
That's one that like isn't gonna break me, but it's gonna build.
Yeah.
It's gonna make it
All
worse
of
and
them make
worse
me
for the
build.
next one. Yeah. That one's a great building one. Yeah, this is a solid ridiculous
Your
possibilities.
second one, Rain's second one was like put me right on the edge. And then Lucas one and it was over.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Rain, thank you for joining
Yeah,
us.
your
this
last
time.
one killed me. I thought I was good. I thought I was
yeah.
gonna make it. I'm like, we're good.
I know. We almost had one where we nobody broke.
Whew.
It was a close one, but that was a fun
That
one.
was fun.
And moving on, we'll do more of these another time because we really like them.
Indeed. Let us know the worst place you think is the place to hide a body.
Yeah.
That's right. And if you have any questions that you think would be funny for this segment, let us know.
Yeah.
The best place to put them would be in our Discord, which you should join.
Yeah. You're missing out.
Or you can tweet at us. Not Rain, though, because she's been banned on Twitter.
I'm still
Forbidden.
banned.
Don't even let her touch the cast account. They'll delete it. They'll know she was there.
That's the only way I can figure out what's going on with Joe Biden. Is by going on the ridiculous Twitter.
Let's go, Brandon.
All right. Rain, why don't you read us this week's question of the week?
This week's question of the week is, what are the worst baby names?
This is a great question.
I've got 3.
3, okay.
All right.
Yeah, kick us off.
Why don't you go first then?
First one, Absidy, but it's spelled ABCD.
Ugh.
Oh my god, that is terrible.
Then we have, go ahead.
Are these, I'm assuming that these are, everybody has names on the list that you've actually heard before.
Yeah, the all 3 of mine are real.
Right, okay. Mine as well.
Next we have, do you want to go in a circle or all 3 at once?
No, you might as well. I'm going to be a while.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right, my second one is Sharkeisha.
I've heard that one as well,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah. And my third one is
That is a dreadful one.
Exadarchsidriel.
You can't even say
What?
it.
Exadarchsidriel. That is the name of Elon Musk's and Grimes' child.
I almost asked that if that's what it was. I almost asked because I'm like, that's the only thing I could think of when you said it.
I've never actually heard the name
man.
said out loud. I've only ever read it, and I had no clue. I would just pass the word. I wouldn't even in my head try and say it. I just passed
Well,
it.
it's like
Wouldn't even try
when you
to.
write it, it's like a formula, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It looks like nonsense. I think it's like a plane, the name of a plane, and then like a formula.
Yeah. Yeah.
I must hate that
Terrible.
child.
Is there a nickname? What's the nickname? What do they call it?
I don't know. They haven't reported a nickname. Probably just Exa or just Exa.
X.
Yeah.
X.
Dark. Mrs. Dark, please.
This is Sidriel. All right, Rain, what do you got?
So I have 2 names. Well, technically 3 names. So the first 2 names are just names that make me cringe. And then the last name is a I don't know why, but I wrote it on the list as a name. And I'm looking at it like, do I know anybody by this name? I don't, but it definitely shouldn't be a name. All right, so the first 2 I have are any Chad and Brads out there? Go fuck yourself. Not a fan.
Classic.
I need to talk to your
The
mother.
age of Chads is over.
Like, how do you have a baby and then look in the child's eyes and go, that's a Chad. That's
Thing
a
is,
Mr. Chad
they
right
call him
there.
something else like most of their life, and then Chad is just the name on their birth certificate.
It's awful.
Same thing with like
Chadley.
Muriel.
No.
Muriel.
No, get out of here.
We should have
Agnes.
prefaced this segment with apologizing to anybody who has these names.
No, they
Listen,
know.
they know their names are bad.
Yep, they know. And then the other...
Dude, I don't want to apologize to all the people that I'm going to offend, so...
Can't wait. And then the other name that I have that shouldn't be a name that I think would be the worst baby name is Chlamydia. Because listen.
No.
I think
It sounds
that's one of
like
the
a
names-
name. When you break it down, it sounds like a name. Okay? Shouldn't be a name.
I think that's one of the names the nurses see written down, and then they veto it.
They do.
Yeah. I was surprised to
no.
actually find out a few years ago that there is like a list of like names you actually can't use.
Oh my god.
That makes sense. I probably like any swear word. Like you can't name your
Yeah,
child
it's-
bastard.
Yeah.
Right. It's like any name that would like, yeah, stuff like that. That's like clearly just used to mock them.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yep. Good names. All right. I have some.
Here we go.
Some.
I'm not gonna go one by one. It would take too long. So I'm just gonna rattle them off.
Okay.
like
Okay.
that.
Okay.
These are all names I've heard before, and they're all just the worst. Hang on, there we go. All right. Sasha, Kyle, Tick, Keeler,
Tick.
Kaylin, Dennis, Diesel, Dawson, Dollar, Dawn, Dick again. Any name that's a proper noun.
Dick twice.
Keith, Kaylee spelled differently. Kaylee spelled differently again. Brayley, Brinlin, Brittany, Brayley.
Brittany.
Yeah,
What about Britney Spears?
Not a fan.
awful.
No.
Brayley spelled differently again. Brayley spelled differently for a 4th time. Raylan, Raleigh, Bryn, Bria, Bianca, Blanca. Anyone named after a TV show from 2010 to 2020. Kinsley, Kinsey, Candy, Mandy, Parker, Pearl,
Candy?
Princess, Paloma,
He's still
Paula
going.
Abdul, Sandy, Dick for a third time,
Again.
Aaron, Carla, Taryn, Tanya, and finally Hilda.
Hilda. You got a lot of names you don't
Wow.
like.
I love how
Yep.
many of
Oh,
your
don't-
coworkers are on that list.
They're all there.
Wow, roasted them.
Well, it had to be done, honestly.
Oh my god.
I have taste, and those names are bad.
I'm so glad you didn't go one by one. For a second, I'm like, 5, 6, 7 name tops.
Like 20 names.
Yeah.
Oh no!
How many names?
It's over 2 pages on my notes section.
Oh my god.
Paloma sounds like a disease.
They're all a disease, to be honest.
Those are really common names.
Yeah, and they're terrible. They're okay. They're common, but doesn't mean they're
Oh,
good.
man.
Okay.
Diesel.
If you want me to
Diesel.
narrow it down, I have 2. And they're sort of like categories, but they're all the same essentially. Any name that's actually just a proper noun, like Mercedes or Florida or like
Yeah.
anything like that.
Yeah.
Awful, terrible. It's already a name of something else. You're not clever by naming it your kid. And then anything that's like has the word structure of a and then ends with Lee, that's just the word.
Yeah, and then they
I
get
had a
weird
million
with how
of
they
them.
spell it.
Oh yeah, they think they're all clever.
Yep.
That's I had like 4 different ones that were just Braille, and they were all different.
Oh man, my
Oh,
name
it
was
was-
almost
it was-
Champagne.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad it's not.
Oh man,
Once again, my name, since we're sharing, was almost Skylar,
Skylar.
Oh my god.
and I would have bullied myself.
The Adventures of Champagne and Skylar.
You know what? Skylar belongs on the list. Fuck you guys. That's one I forgot about.
Wonderful.
Oh man.
Rain, do you know what you were gonna be named, or was it always?
It was always
current name?
Rainie. Yeah. I was
wow,
my
they were
parents.
sure.
I was my dad's first girl.
Right.
Yeah, so they always knew it was me. I think Shannon was supposed to be another female name. They came up with another name, but it turns out he was going to be a boy, so they came up with
Shannon's an awful name.
Shannon. It's German. Shannon. It's German.
I don't know. If it's German, I feel like you're just saying it bad.
Shannon is Rainie's brother.
Poor brother.
Yeah.
Maybe I heard with someone with like a German accent say it, I'd be convinced.
Can't even try. I'm not even going to try.
Shannon.
Wolf, let me ask you, how do you think you spell Shannon?
Oh, this will be fun.
CHEIGHNAN.
You just
Wow.
literally puked out the alphabet.
Wow.
Not even close.
I couldn't even spell it again for you. At least not the same way.
That'll be a good TikTok, I think.
How's it actually spelled?
It's spelled
SEANON.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so simple.
Yep.
It is.
In the hospital, actually,
By
a
the-
funny
if you-
story is in the hospital when my parents wrote down his name on the birth certificate, the nurses thought they were calling him Seaman.
Logical conclusion.
Almost got vetoed.
If you actually want like some of them, I'm not going to say they're bad because it's not my culture, but some of just the weirdest names you've ever heard, you can Google like Irish and Scottish names.
Oh, yeah, I always
Yeah.
loved
Oh
the
my
name
God.
Saoirse. I love that name.
Yeah, that's one of the ones
Yeah.
like a common one on the list. Yeah, those. It's just because like how like the Welsh languages and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
yeah. Oh, the
from American perspective, they're wacky.
the
Wow.
anger at the name Serona. Serona. Right.
Mm.
Why Serona? Yep.
Oh man.
Can we all agree? When Rain called me and asked if this was a good question, she's like, so would that be a good question? Do you need time to think about it? I'm like, no, I already got the name. And she just looked at me and like, you can't name my son's name.
I knew.
And I'm like,
I knew.
oh, well, I guess I better think about this.
For
Put
anybody
Atticus on my
listening, yep,
list.
Atticus is the name. And I love the name.
Can't be
Yeah,
disrespecting it.
Can't
AKA
change my
Atreus.
mind.
Atreus. Shout out to Atreus.
That was the next in
I think it's
line.
twice
runner up.
now.
Yep.
Yeah,
Maybe
that was
that's why I think that's his name.
Well, now I
'Cause it
have to
came
have
up.
another son, and I'm just gonna have to name him Atreus. I have no choice.
Atticus and
Well,
Atreus.
no, you said if you have another kid, I get to help name it.
I
so-
wasn't serious.
Well, Ryan sure was.
I don't know what deals you have with my husband, but they're not gonna pass with me. Nope.
They'll stay
No.
secret until they're relevant.
You
No.
sneak into the hospital and write it on their birth certificate. Well, she's
Like how
distracted.
Peter changed Meg to Megatron. Family Guy. All right, Wolf, take it away.
I'm Wolf, taking things away. Thank you for watching episode 69. Nice. Of You're
Nice.
Ridiculous. If you liked all that, be sure to hit the like, comment, and subscribe buttons, and hit the bell so you get notified of the next episode. If you wanna, if you're watching on a podcast website, be sure to hit the plus and give us 5 stars to support the show. You can follow us across the internet, the main cast at ridiculous_cast on Instagram and Twitter. You can follow Lucas at 7 Angry Wasps with an E, and you follow me at
That's
Rainbow
right.
Does without the W. You cannot follow Rain.
Nope.
Not
Don't
great.
even
We
try.
hope to see you guys all next week, but until then, say goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.